Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today, we're getting back to the basics. That's right, we're going to be going over cheap, highly processed foods and heating them up in the microwave and the oven to see which version is better. Mainly because I stopped cooking most of these processed foods in the oven because they took so much longer to cook than the microwave version, and I personally couldn't tell a huge difference between the two heating methods. And last but not least, you, the people, continue to tell me to cook some of these meals in the oven because they'll turn out so much better. So that's what we're doing because I listen and love you, the people. So let's start off with a 7.4 ounce Banquet chicken nuggets with mac and cheese and a chocolate brownie that costs $1.68. And out of 174 ratings, received 3.3 stars out of 5. Banquet says, great taste, familiar favorites. Here's the list of ingredients, and it is what it is. This is highly processed, cheap food, which means it has a novel of ingredients, including 4 meat slurry concocted nuggets, which is actually perfectly fine because all nuggets are 4 meat slurry concoctions. The whole chicken nugget, macaroni cheese, and brownie meal has 470 calories, 19 grams of total fat, 3.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 45 milligrams of cholesterol, 650 milligrams of sodium, 60 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 24 grams of sugars, and 15 grams of protein. Now here's the cooking instructions for the microwave and the oven. The preparation is the same for both cooking methods. Now here's our Banquet chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, and chocolate brownie meal right out of the freezer and right out of the box. Now one goes into the oven and the other goes into the microwave to cook according to the instructions on the box. While our meals are heating up, I, the person, would really appreciate if you, the people, would please hit the subscribe button. Here's our first chicken nugget meal after microwaving on high for 5 minutes. So we shanked one of our nuggets to try it first. And the breading looks pretty good. It's not soggy on top or the bottom. So into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. And that, believe it or not, was a pretty tasty and somewhat crispy nugget with great seasoning and flavor. Sure, the chicken meat under the crispy, tasty coating was a little bit spongy, but that's what you expect from highly processed foods. Next up, we got a forkful of the mac and cheese, which doesn't appear to be super cheesy. And the macaroni and cheese was okay. It wasn't very cheesy, it didn't have a whole lot of flavor to it, and the pasta was a little bit mushy, but still edible. So next we tried our chocolate brownie. And that brownie was moist, very chocolatey, and absolutely delicious. So now we went in for our final bite of macaroni and cheese and a chicken nugget. And even though the macaroni and cheese was a little lackluster, the chicken nuggets made up for it. Somehow, they were somewhat crispy in the microwave and really well seasoned with a good amount of meat inside. And I'm giving Banquet's chicken nuggets with macaroni and cheese and chocolate brownie meal cooked in the microwave a 6 out of 10. Now here's our second Banquet chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate brownie meal after baking in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. So let's dig in and try the macaroni and cheese first. So we got a big old spoonful, and somehow this looks a little bit cheesier than the one cooked in the microwave. So into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. Now this ain't your mama's or your grandmama's macaroni and cheese, but for some reason, the same macaroni and cheese cooked in the microwave wasn't nearly as good as the macaroni and cheese cooked in the oven. This macaroni and cheese was cheesier, had more flavor, and the noodles weren't as mushy. This macaroni and cheese was pretty good. So next we spooned a nugget. And you, the people, know as well as I do that spooning leads to forking. So into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. And after biting into the extra crispy nugget, I'll never say again that there's no difference between cooking in an oven and a microwave, because there is a difference, at least with this meal so far. So next we got a big spoonful of the chocolate brownie, and it looked just like the one cooked in the microwave, and it almost tasted just like the one cooked in the microwave. However, it was slightly better. There was a little bit more firmness on the outside that you would associate with a baked brownie. You know, like a corner piece that's slightly overcooked, which makes it more decadent. So then we went in for one final bite of the macaroni and cheese and the chicken nugget. And just like the previous bites, it was surprisingly delicious and crispy, which is why I'm giving Banquet's chicken nugget, macaroni and cheese, and chocolate brownie an 8 out of 10. I didn't have high expectations of either meal cooked in the microwave or the oven, but they were both pretty darn good. Most people aren't going to fill up on one of these meals, so you need to buy two if you're interested in trying them. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.